Everyone told you to make a virtual environment. Did anyone say what one is? It's a folder. That's the entire answer, and I want to say so before anything else, because the words virtual environment sound like something clever is going on. Nothing clever is going on. Here's one, opened up, with not a single mystery inside. Welcome back. You've been using one of these for 4 chapters without being told what it is. Let's fix that properly because this is the idea everything else in Python packaging rests on. Open the one file that decides everything. Here is the entire configuration of a virtual environment. 6 lines. Home says which real Python this folder borrows from. Implementation and version info record which one. UV notes the version that made the folder. Prompt is the name your shell shows. And then the last line. Include system site packages, set to false. That single line is the isolation. The line tells Python that while this environment is active, don't go looking at packages installed on the machine. Look only inside this folder. One word, and 2 projects can never see each other's shells again. Home is worth a moment too because Home explains why these folders stay small. The environment contains no copy of Python at all. Home points at a real interpreter elsewhere, and the folder simply borrows the one it points at, which is why a fresh venv weighs a few megabytes rather than a few hundred. Now the 2 folders inside, which are where things actually are. Bin holds executables, the Python for this environment, plus any commands your package is installed. On Windows, the very same folder is called scripts, which is the single most common reason a copied and pasted command fails to work. Same contents, different name. And lib leads down to a folder called site packages, which is where every package you install ends up. Open site packages, and you find more folders. Rich is a folder. Pigments is a folder. There's no database, no index, no registry, only directories with Python files inside them. Which brings us to activation, and to why you have not typed it once in this whole course. Activating an environment does one small thing. Activation puts that bin folder at the front of your path, so typing Python finds the venv copy first. That's the whole trick. No process starts and nothing is registered. Your shell's search list simply gains one entry at the front. Which also explains why forgetting to activate is so easy and so quiet. Nothing tells you off. Your shell simply finds the machine-wide Python instead, installs land on the shared shelf, and you find out weeks later, which is precisely the Chapter 0 problem, arriving by a different road. So UV run replaces activation entirely, which is why you've never typed activate once in this course. UV run finds the environment, makes sure the packages match the lock file, then runs your command inside. Correct every time, with nothing to remember, and therefore nothing to forget. How does UV find the environment? A fixed order, and it's worth knowing. An explicitly activated environment wins. Then a conda prefix. Then a venv folder here, or in any parent directory above you. First match wins, which is why UV run works from a subfolder. There's a command for making one directly when you want environment without a project around it. UV venv builds the folder, tells you which interpreter it borrowed, and prints the activation line for your shell. Same folder, same 6-line file, just made on purpose rather than on the way past. You can also choose which Python the folder borrows and give the folder a different name. Both are useful when you're testing whether a bug is version specific because 2 environments side by side beat one environment you keep rebuilding. One more file in there is worth naming. Dist info sits beside every installed package and records what version arrived and what that package needs, which is where UV pip show gets its answers from. Nothing is being looked up remotely. It's reading a text file 6 folders down.
Quick check.
Which single line in pyvenv.cfg is the thing that keeps 2 projects apart? Pause the video here and picture the file before I answer. Ready? Include system site packages, set to false. 1 line, and that is the isolation. One last practical note. Never commit a venv. The folder is large, the folder is specific to your machine, and the folder rebuilds from the lock file in seconds. UV already wrote a git ignore excluding it, so committing one takes deliberate effort. So, to recap, a virtual environment is a folder with a 6-line text file in it. One of those lines, set to false, is the whole isolation. And UV run finds and checks that folder for you. So activating one is a habit you can simply stop having. Next chapter, the file that makes your colleague's machine match yours exactly, down to the individual bytes.